Have you heard about Shop-A-Vision?
Shop-A-Vision. Shop-A-Vision.
Singapore's first live stream shopping media app. Singapore's first and only live stream shopping media app.
Well, we're now looking for live stream hosts amongst all you talented people out there.
If you have a shiny personality
And you're not camera shy.
And have an interesting talent,
can talk to the cow comes home.
Or even lagi better, can sell ice kacang to the Eskimo.
we want you.
We want you.
We want you.
and stand to be a live stream superstar.
And
Win cash and prizes worth up to
$5,000.
$5,000.
sign up online on www.shopavision.com/be-a-host now. See you there.
Okay, I'm mute again. All right, guys, let's do it properly this time. Yeah. So live, that's good. And this is as you can see, quite obviously the second time that I'm actually doing this live. And the last time that I ran this live, I had the king of outdoor events, the king of festival, Ken Teo, who is the founder of Invade Artbox, and they're running a digital Shilin this weekend as well. So make sure that you guys go check it out. Tonight, I'm very, very happy, and I find this quite an interesting meetup to introduce to you Rachel Pang, who is what we all call the queen of Shop-A-Vision. And Rachel is also so happens to be my primary school friend, whom we have met after so many years online on Facebook, just through some mutual friends as well. So I'm just gonna let Rachel introduce herself. Rachel, hello, thank you for coming online with me.
Hello, Felix. Hi, everyone. Okay, yeah, it's been a long time. So we were primary school mates, right? Until very recently that we reconnect again. So power of social
so I think
media.
that was quite interesting, right? The first topic that I sort of penciled down that I wanted to chat with you tonight was about old friendships. I mean, a lot of us always talk about Facebook and then not having, not knowing the people that we're actually connected with on Facebook. But you and I actually got connected because of Facebook. I think, how do we find each other?
I can't remember. Oh, I think it was because of your interview with Kent. And then I saw it, right?
Ah.
And I was like, for the past decades, I haven't met any Felix Sim in my life. So it's not a common name, with Sim being a surname. And I thought, this guy seems like, I don't know, just a feeling. Seems like old schoolmate. Then that's why we connected.
Yeah. Then that's when you sort of reached out, and then you asked, "Are you Felix from Penny Innocent Primary School?" Then I'm like, "What? Like, who's this?"
So random, right?
Rachel. Yeah. Then random. It's like, who is she and why is she like stalking my primary school profile? Yeah. Has that happened to you before with other friends?
Have. In fact, the beauty of social media is that you can actually find each other. We have mutual friends and things like that, and just easily reconnect. Yeah, just like how we did. But ours took a long while, lah.
Yeah.
It's like we
a
never,
long time. I'm not gonna stay.
we never even meet on the streets. We never even get to see each other till just this year.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is that you were also previously in events, right? Before you got into, we'll touch on what you are doing right now and what you're planning to do moving forward. But you used to be in events, right? Last time you shared with me.
Yeah, my first job. So
What kind of events?
after leaving school, I went into events company, event industry. Yeah. So you know how events company work, right? It's like throw you into the deep end, and then you handle from getting business to executing the end of the event. So that was what I did. Yeah. We was good, So learn a lot, learn the ropes, made a lot of friends, and then from events moved on to advertising and marketing, and then eventually the agency.
Okay. So what's the difference between advertising, marketing, and then an agency?
So and the current agency that I'm managing. So previously was working for others. So I went into an Australian advertising agency. Back then we did original campaigns. And then thereafter I joined a club for a short while. At that time when I was pregnant, and then the club being country club, not nightclub. Sorry, must clarify that. Then,
What's so happening out now?
Okay, nightclub was like during school days. No. Okay, yeah. So don't think my past. And then then shortly after came together with my husband to build OC Group. Yeah.
Okay. What does OC Group do?
We are a full service marketing agency with digital being our core expertise. So in fact, we were one of the first few pioneer agencies in Singapore that has a actual digital in-house team in earlier days. Yeah. So we came a long way from the .com from making websites, like first batch of companies in Singapore that did website, till today, how things have changed.
Yeah. And then obviously you started moving on to doing some other things which we'll touch on later. But I'm just curious. So this is a question I asked Kent the last time, which is your work desk situation. I mean, now that we're all working from home and, we don't go to the office anymore. Most of us actually don't. You want to share more with me about your work desk situation? What's it like? Where do you work? You work on the kitchen, the dining table, like most of us do.
You actually got it right, Okay, so yeah, you hit it right. So we have our office right in the basement of my house. So technically we have a good office setup, but because things got quite out of hand like crazy, so I have documents and papers and scribbles and my laptops and things like that all around, right? So I needed a bigger desk space, so I migrate myself to my dining table. So I have
wait, you said you're working in your basement and then you migrate to your dining table. So your dining table bigger than your basement?
As in bigger than my desk in my office. So now I take half the dining table, which really pissed my husband off. but it is a bigger space. Yeah, and I love it.
Oh, that's great. Cool. And you have kids, right? I mean, it's been a while since we talked, but you have how many kids?
3.
3 kids. Okay. Primary school? Pre-primary?
Oh, they're quite old already. 13, 12, and 9. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. 13, 12, and 9. Then let's talk about working with kids at home, though, because I also have 3 kids, but mine is 5, 3, and 3 months. So working at home with such young kids it's a challenge. I think it's more challenging than actually running a business. But what's it like for you working with secondary school, pretty much secondary school kids?
For me, they are slightly older and much more independent. So I miss their cute days in the age group of your kids. So right now I'm pretty easy because they go to school a good half of the day, right? So it's pretty much a routine. So they know that when they are back home, they just eat their lunch, and then they scoot off to their rooms to do their work or take a nap. And then in the evenings, they will hang around, play games, watch TV, do sports, hang around the living room, hang around the dining room. And then dinner time is when we get together, and then TV time and things like that. So pretty easy for me. I'm glad I can say that.
Yeah, but that's during the weekdays, especially when they go to school, right? But weekends when they don't go to school, and then as an entrepreneur, as a business owner of multiple businesses, you actually still have to work on weekends, I assume, as we all do. Then what do they do? I mean, do they just do their own thing? Do they come and disturb you? How does it work?
Yeah, they're pretty much the same thing. So they will go around their day, as usual, doing what they should be doing. Other than me, every now and then trying to nag at them to like, have you done your work? Right? Have you done your work? Have you done your work? Again and again. So that's the only reminders that I get to give. Other than that, yeah, they just go on with their own day. My youngest daughter is the cutest, so she's the one who will be a bit more manja lah.
My youngest daughter is the cutest.
Sorry, my boys are not tuning in. It's okay. Yeah, so girl being girl, she's more manja, right? So she's the one who will randomly come up to me, find things to talk to me, or give me a hug, or just pestering me and telling me not to work. So yeah, that's the only.
What do you do? What do you do when she does that?
Depends on the mood, actually, pretty much. So like we are in the work mode, right? So if things were quite intense at the moment, then it will be sadly plain outright like, sorry, I'm doing work. I'll talk to you later. If not, then of course I will try to pause and talk to her a bit, see what she needs, have a small chit chat, and then out she goes. Yeah.
So it sounds like you have actually very understanding kids, huh? Like they actually know that you need your time to do your work, and then they leave you alone when you need to be left alone, in a sense.
Actually, this has been we kind of like try to cultivate this environment and this understanding with our kids since they were very, very young. Yeah, I mean, we've been working for that long as well, right? Since they were babies. So they kind of like have seen us working. They know how our work schedule and work mode looks like. And they get the gist of it since very young. So now it's autopilot. They know what is it. Like nowadays when we're at home, right? And they are all at home and we have our video calls going on. So it's like silence in the house, right? So what I do is I need to preempt them. So if I have an important Zoom meeting live, then I have to tell them beforehand or the night before that tomorrow at this time I have a very important meeting, which means that whatever space that I'm using, is a no enter zone, and it's silence in the house. So they know that, and then they will be prepped as much as possible to not make a sound or hide away somewhere else in the own house.
How you train your kids to be like this, huh?
Since young, you have to do it since young. Anywhere later is tough. I would say that. Yeah. So
even though we're the same age, but my kids are 7, 8 years, maybe even 9 years younger than yours. So I'm definitely going to be asking you if you have any tips for other entrepreneurs who have kids, especially those that's younger. If my kids, when they grow up to be the age of your children, and they can actually understand boundaries and all that without us screaming, shouting at them. I mean, seriously, how do you do it? I mean, when you say train since young, how to train? Got manual or not?
Okay, maybe I can write a book. Right. Okay, so since young, communicate, I would say just communication. So we pretty much no nonsense kind of parents. So since young, if we are working, I mean, because even though we used to work outside in the offices, but the agency line is pretty much a 24/7, right? So back home we are like also literally working most of the time. So when they see we are working and they come by and we'll just tell them, sorry, I'm actually working, so I'll talk to you later, or come back later, or I'll come to you later. And one time, 2 times, then they will know. It's as simple as that. And then telling them that, okay, this is my space. Do not step over. Yeah, in that light. So then they will also know, because it's mutual respect, right? So if they understand that, okay, you're doing something serious, and you'll be surprised that as young as say 5 years old, they can understand what it means. Yeah. If not, you just throw them a stare. If they ever stepped over, then they will get it. So eye expression, facial expression does convey a message as well, which they will learn since young. Yeah,
Okay,
but most
so,
importantly, communicate.
a few tips lah. So firstly, we need to start them from young. If I summarize the tips, you need to start them from young. We need to let them know where our boundaries are. You need to have a very obvious stare, where you stare means they move away, right? And it's quite interesting because you and I share quite a lot in common lah. Well, one of the things is obviously we both have an events background. We also both love digital marketing, whether it's doing for other people or primarily doing it for ourselves, which I think is more difficult but a lot more fulfilling. And then, we are also entrepreneurs with kids. And another similarity, oh yeah, by the way, and we also came from the same primary school, in case those who just joined our stream didn't hear that. And another thing is we work with our spouse.
No, we have one more
What's it
similarity.
like for you? Oh, do we? What's another similarity?
You forgot about it. We have one more similarity. Something that
yeah,
people
what is it?
know. We were born on the same day.
Oh,
same
yeah.
time, same year. We share the same birthday.
Damn. Yeah, we
So
share the
can
same
that be not a
birthday.
similarity, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
one
my
in a
goodness,
million,
that
one
is
in a
so, yeah, crazy. Well, lucky you come on the live, otherwise I wasted, man. But
Yeah, one in
let's
a
go on.
million.
Let's go on to talk about working with your spouse. What's it like? What's it like working with your husband?
Okay, I get asked this question a lot. So, husband and wife team, we run the agency together. What's it like working together? I guess it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's super fulfilling because you know that this is in business. This is like the best partner you can have. You know that he wouldn't run away. I hope not. So, it's somebody. I hope, yeah. So it's a business partner
Okay.
that you know will stick with you, and has one that has no other agenda, you know. So that's definitely the best business partner, and we just have to have one common goal. We know that everything that we do is for the good of the business, and working together means it intertwines with our family and personal life. So everything is like on the same boat, on the same sheet. Yeah. So it requires a lot of respect, a lot of communication, and both have to be very objective about the things that we do, the quarrels or the sparrings that we have. We have to be very objective and not take it personally. Yeah. So that's what we try to do.
My wife Stacey and I have the same philosophy, quite interestingly, because a lot, we get asked this question all the time also, and then it's not very often that I get to ask this question to somebody else because, typically it's so hard that most people just try and avoid it to, like, why go and stir the hornet's nest, right? I mean, if you can work with somebody else or you can work on your own, then just do it lah. Why do you need to work with your spouse? Whether work with your husband, work with your wife, outside got other partners, right? You can work with somebody else, right? Why put all your eggs in one basket and risk it all? So same like you, we of course we also have a lot of disagreements, believe me. Especially now because we, of the industry that we are in, we have to make a lot of different decisions, a lot of new decisions towards new directions. So that's when, even more discussions come up.
Yeah.
And the way we manage this is same like you. We remind ourselves and we also remind each other that, what is the reason we're even having this argument in the first place? We're having this argument not because you want our logo to be this and then I want my logo to be that. It's nothing to do with the logo, right? At the end of the day, we're just trying to make something work. We are trying to make the business work, and then we go even deeper. Like we go even deeper by saying, look, why do we want to make this business work? So at the end of the day, I'm sure you have the same answer. You want to make this business work because you want to give it to your family, you want to provide for your family, right? As husband and wife, as father and mother to your kids. So once I found that once we started digging down a lot deeper and start to explore the reasons why we, let's say we have a disagreement or an argument or a fight even, then eventually it comes back up to the when you reverse the question, and then you say, okay, so if our reason is the same, we want to build this business, we want to provide for our family, then why are we arguing about this thing? Because relatively, whatever you're arguing about suddenly looks very small, it's nothing. It doesn't matter whether we hire this guy or we don't hire this guy, do they? At the end of the day, it's we're trying to work together to build this business and provide for our family. Then whatever lah, who cares who's right or who's wrong? So I'm glad that you share the same view.
Yeah, that's good. I guess that's the only survival tactic for a husband and wife team, right? So in business, there's like you say, there's never really a right or wrong, and especially in our line, like in events and we are in creatives and marketing, there's also no one way about doing things, right? Like logo can be pink, can be blue, like can be anything, right? If there are 24 colors, you can argue 24 times. But then because we are passionate, each of us are passionate about what we do, then that's why the quarrel happened, because we all want the best of everything. And especially if we are in business, decisions definitely have to be made. So quarrels happen. But then we all know that it's meant to be productive, to come up with the best idea or solution. But we just need to know where to put a stop to the quarrel, right? Who makes the decision, how to conclude an argument, or how to conclude a discussion. And from there, whatever that has been quarreled about is forgotten. Yeah, it is nothing personal.
That's true. Well, okay, I just want to go to the stream and go to the comments and see who has actually joined us, just to touch base on some of the viewers. I don't know if they're all still here now, but
say hello
we
to them.
certainly have. Yeah, we certainly have. We've got quite a few MCs online as well. It's Terrence, hello. I'm sure you know Terrence. Wayne Chan, Cyrus, Kelly, Rio.
Hi, Rio.
Wow.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, and
Sorry,
we got
can't see
a lot
each and every one of you.
people. Yeah, but cool. Yeah, so we're gonna be looking at the comments also, and then if there's any comments, we will try and take these questions, and then we'll just carry on with the rest of our the points that we want to be talking about. And actually, the next question that I have written down to ask you is about your journey towards being crowned Mrs. UN 2018. What is that all about? I tell you, Rachel, when you reached out to me on Facebook, then when I look at your profile, then I'm like, okay, wait, this doesn't look like a real account, because like everything looks kind of surreal. And then this person is a Mrs. United Nations 2018. Then she knows that I study in Holy Innocents Primary School. So a bit weird when I saw it. I'm like, who is this person? So what made you decide to join this pageant, and what's that journey like?
Okay. Right. So couple of years, 2018, right? Couple of years back, 2018 was a very big year for us. It was one of the busiest year. And that was also the year that we actually thought of transforming our business and come up with a new business idea. So that was 2018. And at that point of time, we were working around the clock. So I was almost feeling a burnout. So burnout is real. I was almost feeling, and I was starting to dread working at one point of time. So I mean, I've always been somebody who likes to be out and about, doing new things, meeting people. Slogging away is definitely quite dreadful sometimes. So I was thinking, like, can I do something else? Because pretty much there was no social life at that point. It was like working day in, day out, day in, day out kind of thing. So I saw some of my friends entered beauty pageants every other year. Saw some of them.
Because why not, right?
I mean, just watching, right? Like observing people, just like everyone does. So people entering beauty pageants, it is fun. I love fun. So I thought maybe I can try, but that was just a passing thought. It was to Diana, a friend of mine. I don't know if you know her. She was an ex-beauty queen. So I had her in one of my clients' video shoot. So that was the time we actually did a catch up. We talked, and then I asked her, what is it like to be in a beauty pageant? Is it very does it have a very busy schedule, a lot of commitments like sponsorship, meetings, activities like that? And she told me no. So she told me no. So that no was like, So it was like, no, okay. And then right at that period, Mrs. Singapore World was open for registration, and so I went for that. Yeah, so I went for the Singapore pageant, came in runner-up, and then the subsequent year I went to Canada for the International United Nations pageant, and so proudly I won the crown back.
You mean you flew to Canada for the pageant?
Yeah.
I thought your friend say no need to do any work to fly so far.
Yeah, that is the following year. So it's like you participate in the Singapore one, and then you were one of the winners, and then the following year you will represent Singapore in a follow-up pageant. Yeah. So I was quite. I mean, it was a proud moment. I'm not model-like, or I'm not tall and skinny, and So beauty pageant is something like out of the world, but I just joined for fun. It's really about the experience and doing something different other than work. Yeah.
And then you win, so like easy lah.
I don't know. I did my best. Like I say, that's all I can say. Yeah. But I truly enjoyed the experience.
Okay.
Yeah. So really,
Cool.
girls to ladies out there,
somebody interesting who joined. So Jonathan Goh. Do you know Jonathan?
No. Who's he?
Yeah. So Jonathan is one half of this gang called the Annoying Brothers. So they won the Asia's Got Talent for juggling and some comic stuff. Just funny. I don't even know how to describe them properly, because usually we have the professionals like Sylvia weigh in them and then introduce them. But they're super funny. And so Jonathan is not a host and not an MC. But I tell you, the other day I was on Insta, right? So I sometimes I still don't really know how to use Instagram, but I started learning how to use Insta stories now. So I go to Insta, and I saw Jonathan hosting an Insta live where he was juggling in his room by standing on something like about this high. I have no idea why he was doing that in his room on IG Live. And then whilst he was doing that, he was also punishing himself by drinking random alcohol out of a cup that his audience sort of nominate. So they are like, okay, 加 vodka, 加 whiskey, 有没有 absinthe, 有没有酒, then beer, everything, and just and then he drink and then he continue. So Jonathan is a busker. But excuse me, so obviously now cannot bus, so he was just sort of entertaining at home. But I just wanted to arrow him out, because I know that the next topic that we're going to be touching on is something that I'm personally very interested in, and I know you are basically creating a platform that is going to allow people to sort of start a business or grow a business online without having any experience or without having any infrastructure. I think the most important thing that anybody needs to sort of grow or start a business on your platform, the next topic that we're going to be talking about is, I think, entertainment value. So Jonathan, if you're still online and you're still actually listening to this, I suggest you stay till the end, because we're going to be sharing something pretty interesting, for which I think, not only an MC or a host can go for, but something that I think you've got some other hidden talents. So this is what I want to be talking about. I want to be talking about Shopper Vision. What is Shopper Vision?
Okay, so Shoppervision is my new baby. So over the years, being in the agency, we've been looking for a solution that can solve the pain points of many retail and B2C merchants, which is the common challenges of how to be able to reach out and better market themselves and do sales, right? So so with the e-commerce and live stream commerce booming in China, we've seen how it works. We've seen the growth, and we were wondering why isn't live stream commerce in Singapore, in Southeast Asia. That is how Shoppervision idea came about, because we realized that, hey, live stream commerce might just be the solution that merchants can be accessible to manage and sustain their business with. Yeah. So Shoppervision is a Singapore's first and only independent mobile-first live stream shopping media app. So it itself is actually a business solution system where it's integrated with live stream video technology, full e-commerce capabilities, customer relationship management, analytics, and so on. So literally, as a merchant, you can actually come aboard and have an account, have your brand page, have your e-store, and be able to have the control of live streaming and just run your content from there.
So why don't they just do it on Facebook Live? Because as you know, everyone is doing a Facebook Live. And right now, the trend is they are going into live auctions on Facebook, of course, and they're trying to sell something. Like everyone's trying to sell something on a live auction on Facebook. And it works, right? I mean, people are putting in their bids via comments. The admin is pinning the messages. It works, lah. So why do they even need a platform like Shoppervision, and what inspired you to start Shoppervision despite having all these platforms already readily available?
So just a little backstory. So with the observation of live stream commerce booming in China, we hatched the idea of Shoppervision, and that was 2 years ago. Right. So at that time, we wanted to bring live stream commerce into Singapore. So that was before Facebook Live and IG Live came in. We approached the idea of live streaming to clients and friends and people around us, asking, do you know what live streaming is, and so on. So, but they were clueless. 9 out of 10 people do not have an idea of what live streaming is. So then we thought, maybe it's really too early. Just like the adoption of social media, right? It was Facebook came to Singapore, and then it took us 3 to 5 years to even get people to go on board Facebook. Yeah, so we understand how that works. So then we decided
at the time was Friendster, right?
Friendster is our school days. Very boring, yeah. So we decided to shelve the idea for a while, and it was until a year plus ago when Facebook Live and IG Live came in, and they educate the market, leading the way to let people understand what live streaming and how it works. We decided to revisit the idea. We think that, okay, now is the time, then let's do it. So we approached the idea to IMDA and got a validation there. They believe that it fits the new media vertical. We got a grant, and that brought us to today with the final development of the app. So what inspired me was really how live stream commerce made a difference in the market across the entire landscape, like what it did in China. So it is a solution which we believe can allow merchants to be able to self-sustain their business with marketing and sales being enabled. You're right. And
but so you said you
idea,
had this idea 2 years ago, right? Why did it take so long to build a platform or a business? 2 years to build it? It's very long, right?
Oh no, we didn't take 2 years, so we shelved it. We shelved the idea at that point of time till a year plus ago. Then we about a year. Then we started to work on it because we think the time is here. Yeah. So it's
so
about
you sort of already created it, and then you put it in cold storage, and because you were too early, but instead of completely throwing it out of the window, you thought, okay, just hang on a minute, just hold on to it first, wait for the right timing before we launch again, lah.
Correct. Yeah. So Shoppervision, by the name itself, is actually inspired by Cellevision. So that is home shopping TV network, right? So it was the same way, just that now it's digitalizing the whole experience and is even more intimate, right? It's as good as putting a face right smack in front of your face if you're using a mobile. And you literally can have one-to-one
And you told me
conversation.
before that your team is mostly remote, and earlier in this chat, you have some people in Singapore, some people in Malaysia and other countries. How are you doing all this remotely? I mean, is it software? Is it just your stare over Zoom, then people just do the things that you ask them to do? Or how are you managing this remotely? It's hard. How do you do it?
I guess we are pretty used to it because we have a Malaysia team and Singapore. So my CTO sits in Malaysia. Most of my backend team also in Malaysia office. It's pretty much Skype, messaging, just keeping the communication going. And every other month, we try to take a shuttle down to Malaysia. I mean, it's really very convenient to travel now. Nowadays, right? Not now, but over the years.
Yep.
So I think we manage pretty well. Things goes on pretty smoothly. If not, we just have to pick up the phone and talk to each other. Yeah. So it's just how much you want to stay committed and be responsible for what you are doing. So very luckily, our team is pretty used to this kind of working style. And everyone kind of is pretty responsible to know, okay, these are the things they need to do. We just need to get together every other day to just make sure that discussion were being done and things are being trashed out. Yeah.
Is this the same team that's managing your digital marketing agency, or a different team?
Same team. It is still the same team. So we are actually transiting to ShopperVision. Yeah, full time. Very soon.
Yeah, because it's hard, right? Your previous business has been really successful, obviously, and then now you want to go into a new venture. Why are you doing it?
So over the years, we've been always trying to find one solution that can benefit clients at large. And because we know that the agency services can only do so much, because like a client come to us, it's a project, no matter how much we value it, once it's done, right? And I know how much it can help the business. So we thought on having a solution that can benefit not just the local merchants, but can also be useful for other markets. So that is a bigger dream of ours, which is why we believe that ShopperVision is the next big thing. Yeah.
And are you still going to be doing the digital marketing services, or if when this picks up, that's it? This is where you're definitely moving towards already.
Yeah, we will be transiting, but many related services would then naturally fall under the ShopperVision's suite of services as well. Yeah, so it's still pretty much digital marketing, just that now we have a ready product and platform to do so. Yeah. So it's pretty much the same job.
I assume that you believe that ShopperVision would better fit into a post-COVID world as opposed to the digital marketing agency. That's why you're actually making this decision.
Okay, so it's a dream, right? So it's a solution, and I think yes, totally, ShopperVision fits in during or post-COVID. And as we can see over these few months, suddenly everyone realized that, digitalization is important, right? Shops are forced to close. And you are pretty much, you used to be confined within the space of your retail to run the business. But then suddenly when you have to shutter, you realize that, how am I going to sell right now, right? Yeah, but then with a solution and a platform like that allows them to both fulfill marketing, connect with customers, at the same time can do sales. So why not? Which means that as a merchant, you are no longer being confined to geography, to location, to timing. Yeah, you can sell anytime. Your sales guy or your host can sell anytime, right? If you are diligent, like the people in China, you sell 8 to 16 hours. Like I don't believe you don't sell. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. I just saw a very good host come online, Sylvia Tam.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Awesome. Wow, it's been so long since I met up with her. I really miss meeting up with Sylvia. But anyway, let's just continue in this chat. I digress.
Family gathering
So
here.
I also wanted to chat, to ask you, to share some advice you have for business owners, because like especially in our events industry also, or in my events industry, events is dead lah, and I'm running a webinar tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Singapore time to talk about my view of the live event scene for the next 3 years. If you're not going to be joining the webinar, what I'm going to say is next 3 years, you're not going to see a live event. I'm very, very sure. I mean, a live event, a pre-COVID live event. So if you talk about 50, 60, 80 people event in the next 3 years, yeah, I think, sure, why not? You're probably going to still see some of them. But if you're talking about the type of events that we do, the 3,000, 4,000, 6,000 packs, family days type of events, I'm reasonably sure that we're not going to see that until January 2023. So obviously there is a huge gap, right, to be filled, especially if you're in the events business. And because of both our similar connections, we have a lot of people from the events industry who is on this stream right now. And many of them are obviously switching to live. They are, like MC Cyrus is now host Cyrus. He's hosting for Again City. And then we have Rio, MC Rio, who is also doing a lot of online shows. Sylvia obviously hosted for Geylang Serai. And then now she started her own series, Primetime with Silver Thumb. And many other examples. And even Kent from Invade, huge festival art box or huge event art box, now going digital, doing digital Shilin this weekend.
Yeah.
It's hard to change and to jump into something new, not only during this period, but also making sure that whatever you jump into lasts for a reasonably long time. What advice do you have for businesses or even freelancers or talents who are looking to jump into something new?
I would have to say, be ready to adapt and innovate. So a lot of times, situation and circumstances are very clear to us, right? Just like the pandemic right now, right? But because we are too comfortable in what we used to do and what we think we are meant to do, and the fear that holds us back from trying something new, right? But then it is just smart if you are able to adapt and adopt in time. Yeah. So since there are many MCs and sellers who suddenly realize that, okay, that Facebook Live is a thing to jump onto because you can communicate, you can do whatever you want and just to get exposure, and maybe hopefully through that whole content production and generation can earn you more work and income opportunities. So that's definitely good. I'm sure there are many others who are also still contemplating whether to do so or not. I would say give it a shot. Anything that might be a possible opportunity, go for it. Learn it, try it. You really have nothing to lose. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that sort of brings me to one of the last points that I have, which is about Shopper Vision. So I noticed recently that there's a lot of posts about Shopper Vision, trying to bring on talents, hosts, MCs, to sort of the platform. And to be honest, I mean, even though we are friends, I looked at it and I thought, this is amazing. I mean, what you're creating is not just very good business, but it also, I think it's very good social responsibility. Because I think just an answer to my own question earlier, if there's already Facebook Live and Insta Live, then why do you need a platform like Shopper Vision? So of course, there's the back-end structure behind the scenes. There's all the technology that sort of helps you power an online shop. But Shoppervision, from what I see online and from our previous chats, it seems to me that it is not just a platform. It is like an ecosystem that allows anybody who is willing and able to give a shot at either starting a business, running a business online, growing a business online, or helping power up somebody else's business online, helping enable somebody else's business online as a host or as a talent. I think Shoppervision really provides that platform or that ecosystem, and what you're building seems to be like a very good tribe, a very close-knit tribe where you have everyone come together, and they know each other over time, and they start supporting and helping each other, and then this community sort of built, right? So other than MCs, who else can sort of come on board to this Shoppervision platform?
Yeah, you got it right. So besides empowering merchants and businesses, on the side, we are actually building this, we meant to create this entire ecosystem where we can help many different groups of people through the things that we do. So one part is definitely grooming our own home base of local talents, live stream hosts, who will be able to use the platform to either run their own business, share their own content, or be engaged by the brands and the merchants who might need a live stream host to help them handle their live stream. So there are many work and income opportunities which we can generate for this family. So which is why we are definitely actively calling out for the individuals out there, especially during times like this, that you can actually come on board with us, and we believe this might be a new avenue that you can carve out a new career, business, or have a form of income as we grow, as we move along. Yeah, so if you are an existing MC host or with any talents, you definitely have an easier path to be able to adapt and do really well with your content. But actually, anyone of you out there, even if you think you're ordinary, you have been an office boy or anyone,
office boy,
doesn't matter who you are right now. If you feel that you love to be in front of camera, you don't mind talking and interacting with people, you would like to try out something new, being a seller or being a live stream host, give it a shot and join us, come on board, because right now we have this search going on. Yeah, so try it.
Tell them about the contest. I saw the prize money and the contract. Wow, you're very generous. From
my own pocket. Then we try to, yeah. So always incentivize first, right? And in times like this, I believe the prizes definitely can make a lot of people happy, and it gives them new hope and something to think about moving forward. Yeah. So
what is it about? They go to shoppervision.com/be-a-host, right? And then what do they need to do once they go to it?
So mechanics is very simple. So just fill up our online form and submit a 30 seconds video of yourself talking about or promoting a product that you can find at home. So just talk for 30 seconds. Yeah, you can do it in whatever manner that you think deems fit, and then submit it. Closing date is actually this Sunday, so only left a few more days. Prizes are really attractive, so we have cash prizes of cash and prizes up to 10,000, and we have up to 30,000 worth of contract to give to our winners.
Wow, that's more than what the government giving there.
Yeah, so it really is.
比政府给的钱还多哎。
Yeah, so you 3 top winners, and we have 7 other prizes within the top 10 finalists. Yeah, it's definitely attractive.
And of course, the contracts.
Yeah, and the contract. So even if you have no experience, no worry. If you are on board with us, we do have a lineup of more resources, trainings, and guidance that can just get you being used to being a live stream host. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Cool. Okay. Do you have ending words to share with you? Me, hey, please lah. Wow, they all, I tell you, the other day when you messaged me, ask me to join, I'm like, I haven't got time to do this kind of thing. 我有3个孩子要养，
So
我还
many
有
businesses right now also, right?
Boeing lah. I mean, I'm not. It's not like I'm not. I don't support this movement, but I believe that there is a time and place for everything, and there is a role for everybody to play in a business and in the ecosystem. Whether it's in the events ecosystem or in a business ecosystem, and I think there are, of course, there are a lot of very interesting hosts that we both mutually know, and I have seen quite a few of them on the promo video also, which is nice. I mean, at the end of the day, I will support you for sure, as a friend in other ways, not as a host lah, but in other
You
ways.
concentrate on your businesses. You have now how many? 2, 3, 4 businesses that you are currently running?
No. So the business that we run is called Get Out, and then previously, of course, we were running live events lah, and then now we, of course, we're all moving into virtual events. So we just launched 3 of our own virtual event platforms also, and I'm spending a lot of time now recording videos to educate the market, educate the industry about virtual events, about the importance of running events, even if you cannot run live events. So still very much focused on the event scene, but a bit different, from a different angle. So we're focusing a lot more on content generation, which is something that you're very familiar with. But as you know, it takes a lot of time. When someone sees that you do a video and then you'll be like, well, okay, 30 seconds video over already. But wow, the amount of time it takes you to write that storyboard, draw that storyboard, write the script, record the video, re-record, post-pro in Premiere Pro. It's just too much time just to record one. But we think that running an event is one time, but creating content is evergreen, right? It keeps going and it runs for pretty much for forever, as long as the content is still relevant. So yeah, we're still in the events business, just a little bit from a different angle, and we are also looking to collaborate with other event companies now. So not just in Singapore. Like tomorrow's webinar, I think the last time I checked, we've got about 550 people who's registered for the webinar already for tomorrow. Yeah, that's really quite a lot. To be honest, when I started, I thought if we 50个人我就很开心了。But over 550, and out of this number of people who's registered, I think less than 5% are in Singapore. 95% are from all over the world. Yeah, so I think as we start to go online and start to virtualize our business, we will start to realize that, like what you shared earlier, it's not just about Singapore. I mean, when your inspiration for Shoppervision came from China, which had already been doing this for donkey years already, way before we even knew this thing existed. So a lot of times 人家说世界很大, I think they don't really understand how big the world really is, especially when you're working in Singapore, because we're very sheltered, we're very protected. Not that it's a bad thing, it is a good thing. But the downside to that, I feel, is that you tend to 有点井底之蛙的那种现象啦, where you think like, you need to try and be the biggest in Singapore, and then you realize actually biggest in Singapore means nothing in the world. So if we continue to try and push forward to running live events, I think again the next live event that's going to be reasonably large is going to be January 2023, I think. Which means from now on, 你真的是吃草咯。你做一个100个人的 event, how much can you earn? 你能养几个孩子, Yeah, so very hard. So like yourself, we've also pivoted, but I think that's another thing that we're very similar. I feel that we have a very one-track mind when we decide that this is the right way to go and this is the right thing to do, 我们就是 just 一直做这个而已 like there's nothing else will attract us, nothing else will distract us. We just do this until we are proven wrong.
Just do it, right?
Yeah,
So-
so that's the same message that I have for everyone who's viewing as well, lah. Okay, so we're gonna come to an end to this live. Rachel, thank you so much for agreeing to come online with me once again.
Thank you for
And,
having me. Very honored to be
yeah.
on your show.
Yeah, so just to wrap up again, we are, well, not we, but we as in Rachel and her team, are still open to inviting any talents, any MCs, any performers, anyone who thinks you want to give a shot at being in front of the camera, to join their search contest at shoppervision.com/be-a-host. There are very, very attractive cash prizes to be won. And there's also very attractive contracts to be won with Shoppervision. It's all 4 figures, 5 figures. It's not those like 几百块的东西. So do check it out if you are a talent or you're an aspiring talent. It costs you nothing to join. And then, you know, like what we've been sharing in the last 1 hour, if you want to try something, then just try it. And why not? You know, you never know that you have a hidden talent somewhere. And if you do have that talent, you're going to change your life. So with that, I'm going to end this live with the Shoppervision video once again. And Rachel, I will catch you online another day. Thanks again for coming online.
Thank you, everyone. Stay well. Take care. And let's move forward.
Okay.
Felix.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Have you heard about Shoppervision?
Shoppervision.
Shoppervision.
Singapore's first live stream shopping media app. Singapore's first and only live stream shopping media app.
Well, we're now looking for live stream hosts amongst all you talented people out there.
If you have a shiny personality,
And you're not camera shy.
And have an interesting talent.
Can talk to the cow comes home.
Or even lagi better, can sell ice kacang to the Eskimo.
we want you.
We want you.
We want you.
And stand to be a live stream superstar.
And
Win cash and prizes worth up to
$5,000.
$5,000.
sign up online on www.shoppervision.com/be-a-host now. See you there.